Sorry, turn the heater on. Like, guys are doing well. It's really cold in here, but I'm still trying and surviving. So, why is my name still on Shine? Hi, big guy. Thank you so much. And how are you doing? Um, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just getting ready. I just got, didn't wake up. I woke up 30 minutes ago, but I'm alive. Look at me, I'm alive. Do I look alive? I just had to change the wheel. Kind of. Yeah. Oh my god. Wait, let me fart. Oh, I farted. Did you hear that? Did you hear the fart? Uh, I had to like I had to I had to do the wheel, so I didn't hear it. Okay, you didn't hear. Like I'm exposing my secrets to you. Like you shouldn't hear about the fart. It's a really powerful thing, that one. It's silent but deadly. But yeah, I'm still getting ready. I'm not gonna lie. Did you have dinner already? I'm about to like put a video on so I could. Maybe you should have a fart emote. Maybe I should turn you into a natural farter in that Tomodachi game. How about that? You want to become a natural farter? You want that? Didn't eat yet. Okay, cool. Watch this then. Uh, let's watch something while I. Oh, what are you making though? You should like this is your time because I'm gonna be your time to like cook because I'm gonna play TFT. I think I'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll play two games, but I'll play TFT. Let's listen to this video first. Because yeah, we're you know we're we're we're, we're scholars.
He struggled with addiction before. He went to rehab.
I'll be having some leftover. Ooh, pasta. What pasta? I just had ramen last night. Ramen.
Overdose. Imogen didn't know that he had relapsed. He's secretly been ordering drugs through the mail. She calls an ambulance and starts to perform CPR. But when emergency services arrive, they're unable to save him. She calls Dylan's mother, but by
Some
the time she
shells with
gets there,
tomato.
he's already gone. All signs point to a clear-cut heroin overdose.
How are you,
But the
Rara?
coroner's toxicology report reveals something strange. Dylan's system contained morphine, alcohol, and an obscure synthetic opioid, a drug 10 times more potent than fentanyl, one most people have probably never heard of. Isotonitazine. It's part of a whole group of substances called nitazines. And this tiny amount is enough to kill. Dylan Rocha's death is believed to be one of the first in the UK known to be caused by a nitazine analog. Over the past few years, across the EU, a perfect storm is brewing, caused by
It's from Pokemon.
shift in Afghanistan, changing smuggling routes, and the emergence of clandestine Chinese laboratories pushing new and harder synthetic drugs. Drugs that are cheaper, sometimes openly available on the clearnet, and more potent than almost anything we've seen before. Is your
Hala.
for what's coming?
Guys, are you guys ready? I'm listening, okay? I'm gonna like poop, I think. I don't know.
This is Ahmed. He's a fictional character based in a variety of reporting. And this is his farm, located in the northern Helmand region of Afghanistan. Like many others across the country, he settled a patch of desert. 10 years ago, 3 hectares cost him just $5,400. Since then, he's gradually turned this patch of arid land into a productive plot that provides for him, his wife, and their 9 children. But it wasn't easy. First, the dry earth had to be cleared and leveled. Ahmed doesn't have access to irrigation from a local water source like the Musakala River, so he also had to dig a 120-meter deep well. That cost him $3,600. Instead of relying on expensive diesel fuel to power his pumps, he invested another $10,000 in installing a solar array. He even dug a large pond to store the groundwater he'd use on his crops. With the average daily income of an Afghan farmer being about $5 to $10 US, you might well ask, how exactly did Ahmed pay for all this? Well, Ahmed grows poppies. He's the first link in the supply chain that turns this flower into opium and opium into heroin. Since 2003, Afghanistan has consistently produced 70% of the world's opium and up to 90% of Europe's supply. For farmers like Ahmed, it's essential for survival. Every year, he uses 2/3 of his plot to grow poppies. The rest he fills with just enough wheat to feed his family. Most years, his crop yields around 140 kilos of opium, including 20 kilos he can set aside for a rainy day. But that's all about to change. On August 15, 2021, the Taliban returned to power. 7.5 months later, they make poppy cultivation illegal. Some experts say they're distancing themselves from a trade they previously participated in hope of securing political recognition as well as financial and humanitarian aid. Others claim they're artificially raising prices in order to profit from their own stockpiles. Either way, people in Afghanistan are skeptical.
If you don't have enough food in your house and your children are going hungry, what else will you do? If we grew wheat instead, we won't earn enough to survive.
This isn't the first time the Taliban have done this. After securing control of the majority of the country in 2000, they put a similar ban in place, resulting in a 90% reduction in opium cultivation in 2001. Within a year, the price for a kilo of dried opium skyrocketed from $30 US to over $300, but the shortage didn't last. Instead, the United States invaded Afghanistan. The year after that, poppy cultivation bounced back. Having lived through the Taliban's previous rise to power, Ahmed, like many farmers, anticipated the ban. The total area used for poppy cultivation grows by 32%. Farmers are allowed to harvest and sell their opium before a full ban comes into effect. As a result, the 2022 crop is the third largest since records began. Opium stores swell, including Ahmed's. By November, prices are as high as $475 per kilo. Farmers' income from opium sales triples. The UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, estimates that opiate stocks in Afghanistan total up to 13,200 tons that year. 60% is likely held by organized crime groups, with the rest belonging to farmers. All in all, it's probably enough to meet the demand for Afghan opiates until 2027. For Ahmed, that's plenty of time to wait for the ban to lift or loosen and for things to go back to normal. For experts in Europe, it's time to jump into action.
Hi, I'm Daniel Brombacher. I'm the director of the Europe Observatory of Organized Crime at the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime. We provide analysis to the broader public, to governments, to interested partners about what's happening on the ground in organized crime.
For Daniel and his colleagues, Afghanistan's poppy ban is deeply concerning.
Everyone in Europe was afraid of a potential influx in the traditional heroin market that is linked to Afghanistan with synthetic opioids.
In the past, heroin shortages in European countries like Estonia, Hungary, or Finland have led users to start consuming synthetic alternatives like fentanyl or cathinones. When the heroin supply drops and user demand stays consistent, organized crime groups take advantage of these supply shocks to introduce more profitable drugs.
So we thought, okay, we have to look into this issue and we need to monitor illicit markets to see, do synthetic opioids actually show up there? Have they maybe already entered supply chains for illicit drugs in Europe? And what are the dynamics behind this market, and if there is any market already?
While many questions remain, one thing becomes clear. This ban is different. The Afghan poppy industry doesn't bounce back like it did the first time. Ahmed's home province of Helmand, which accounted for over half of Afghanistan's poppy cultivation, is rendered virtually poppy-free. Europe's heroin supply is almost entirely cut off at the source. At this point, you might assume that Europe's drug scene would be flooded with synthetic alternatives, but the flood never comes.
So the heroin market has actually never been sustainably disrupted. Massive heroin markets like here in Germany are still readily supplied, most probably because of existing stockpiles of heroin and opium that you would have in Afghanistan and along the traditional trafficking routes.
Stockpiles of opium from farmers like Ahmed are softening the blow. Heroin purity in Europe has generally plummeted and can range from 5 to 40%. The prices and availability have remained relatively stable. So far, there's no sign of a drastic impact like the ones experts warned about, but that shouldn't create a false sense of security.
There's a lot of guessing around that, but let's say if heroin continues to be scarce and maybe the stockpiles are depleted at some point, then yes, we may have a way stronger impact than we would think of now.
So we asked ourselves, what happens if the situation gets worse? Compared to the US, Europe hasn't had an opioid crisis. The first wave of the American epidemic was supply-driven. It started when pharmaceutical opioids like OxyContin were aggressively marketed and overprescribed. The second wave came when these prescriptions were largely cut off, pushing former patients to start using heroin. This snowballed into the third and deadliest wave, when fentanyl entered the drug supply. Europe largely avoided this path through stricter prescription practices, stronger, more socially oriented healthcare, better treatment, and harm reduction services. For over 3 decades, fentanyl's presence in Europe has remained small and geographically limited. But now there are new challenges. It looks like Afghan heroin isn't coming back, and flexible competitors are quick to fill the gaps. Clandestine drug labs in China, India, and Russia produce an array of synthetic opioids, drugs like fentanyl and nitazines. At least 21 EU member states have already found nitazines in their drug supply. Nitazines often contaminate drugs like heroin or oxycodone, and sometimes more common drugs like cocaine, Xanax, ketamine, and ecstasy. In the UK, they've even been found in vape liquids and illegal nasal sprays. So far, relatively few deaths seem to be linked to nitazines, just a few hundred in most countries. But these numbers might not be entirely accurate.
In Germany, last year and this year, we have had the historically highest numbers of overdose deaths. These numbers are far away from what has happened in the US, but still they are high comparatively. But then if you only conduct an autopsy in 50% of the cases, and that has been the case in Germany, then how do you actually know what people took? The opioid quick scan would not differentiate or would not tell you this was heroin or this was oxycodone or this was nitazine. So we don't actually know how it's going.
In September 2024, the director of the European Agency for Drugs issued a call to action. He explicitly warned against the very real risk of remaining complacent during this buffer period. Without a visible crisis like the one in the US, governments aren't forced to prepare. This false sense of security is only made worse by the novelty of nitazines, substances that most experts don't know they should test for or how to effectively treat. Names that most people, including you, have probably never heard before this video. Drugs that seemingly came out of nowhere. Or did they? This is the Pharmaceutical Research Laboratory of chemical company Ciba in Basel, Switzerland. Here, chemists are experimenting with a largely unexplored compound, benzimidazole. It was first synthesized in 1872, but its therapeutic potential wasn't recognized until the 1950s. Intrigued by the compound, the Ciba team conducts some novel experiments. They focus on creating benzimidazole derivatives as opioid painkillers. They take a benzimidazole ring as a scaffold and bind an ethylamine at its first position and a benzyl group at its second position. This way, they produce 2-benzyl benzimidazole. With only minor structural modifications to this scaffold, the chemists can produce a wide variety of analog substances. That means they each have a unique chemical structure, but potentially similar effects. The team has successfully synthesized a new class of opioids, broadly labeling them nitazines. But they quickly realize there's a problem. The chemists conduct a toxicity test. They test how many milligrams of morphine per kilo of body weight is needed to kill half a test population of mice. It's 200 milligrams. Then they conduct the same test using the nitazine compound. A 1 milligram dose does the job. The drug they've created is 200 times more potent than morphine and 5 to 10 times more potent than fentanyl. Some analogs are over 40 times more potent. The team agrees that this extreme potency makes it especially difficult to dose. This leads to what the medical field calls a narrow therapeutic window. One small miscalculation and the patient can become addicted or die. Its unique chemical structure further complicates medical use as it behaves differently than other opioids. When certain analogs like isotretinoin degrade in the body, they release an active metabolic compound in the brain that's even more potent than the parent drug, meaning the drug's effects last an unusually long time and intensify before fading. But that's not all. The molecule unbinds very slowly from the opioid receptors in the brain. In turn, nitazines have a reduced sensitivity to life-saving drugs like naloxone. Naloxone is a compound typically used to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. It does this by displacing the opioid molecule at the brain's receptors, and it's effective for morphine, heroin, and even fentanyl. But nitazines make this process mechanically difficult, and multiple doses are often required to stop someone from slipping back into overdose. Simply put, it's stronger, harder to treat, and it lasts much longer than other opioids. The scientists shelved the project. Nitazines are never approved for medical use. The findings are published in medical journals, which fade into scientific obscurity. History became legend. Legend became myth. And for 7 decades, nitazines passed out of all knowledge. Until 2019. The opioid epidemic in the US has been fueled by an influx of precursor chemicals coming from China. They're usually transported to Mexico, where they're turned into fentanyl and smuggled over the border. Trump has blamed the Chinese government for the crisis and partially used it to justify higher and higher tariffs.
They are doing that, yes. But they are paying right now a 20% tariff because of fentanyl, based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada.
The CPC claims fentanyl is an America problem.
我们多次表明，芬太尼是美国的问题，不是中国的问题。
Some fentanyl analogs were banned in 2015, and a more complete ban followed in 2019. That year, China added fentanyl, its analogs, and a variety of precursor chemicals to their list of controlled substances as an act of good faith. On paper, this was a good move, but in practice it meant that the companies making fentanyl were pushed into a perpetual cat-and-mouse game with the government. If they couldn't sell fentanyl anymore, they simply had to look for new, unregulated synthetic drugs. This is a clandestine drug lab in Zhengzhou, China. These chemists are poking around in old medical journals trying to find new opioids they can synthesize. Eventually, they stumble on papers about nitazines, which tick all the boxes. It's a largely unheard of compound, it's easy to synthesize, and it's extremely potent. And more importantly, it's not yet banned by the government. They've struck synthetic gold. Within a few months, small packages of nitazine analogs start hitting countries all around the world. So just how easy is it to buy one of the most dangerous drugs on Earth? We wanted to find out. Warning, do not try this at home. Step 1. Do 15 minutes of research to find an article that mentions online B2B marketplaces with potential listings from Chinese vendors selling nitazines. Step 2. Go to the B2B platform and search for nitazines. See that the listings with the keyword have been removed. Step 3. Search for knowing its common analog found on the street. Immediately find listings for multiple vendors. Step 4. Download Telegram and contact the number listed on the photo of a bag of nondescript drugs. Step 5. Within 12 hours, get an answer. How much you want to buy? Smiley face. Clarify that you want to order a test sample and have it shipped to Europe. Step 6. Find out that it will cost $160, including shipping with either UPS, FedEx, or DHL. Step 7. Send them an address and pay with their link. Congratulations! You've now bought one of the most powerful opioids in the world. And if by any chance your package is intercepted, there's a reshipment guarantee. 5 stars on the flag, 5 stars for the customer service. We didn't do that last step, by the way, so the stuff never arrived. But we were casually offered kilos of isotretinoin by this vendor, enough to harm a lot of people.
Europe seizes maybe 10 to 20 kilos a year, while at the same time we seize 400 tons of cocaine a year. That's a big difference. But still, with 10 kilos of nitazines, you could kill the whole city of Berlin.
The kilo we put
No.
away easy peasy could theoretically kill well over
I didn't get to poop.
By 2025, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime was tracking 26 distinct nitazene analogs in 30 countries around the world. And just like fentanyl in the US, nitazines are likely here to stay, or they might be
Yeah,
replaced by yet another novel substance.
more
As the game of cat
farts.
and mouse continues.
It was all farts.
Substances are declared illegal, so labs
Party,
look for
party,
new,
fart, fart, fart,
unregulated
fart, fart,
alternatives.
fart.
For organized crime groups, the upside of selling potent synthetics is simply too high. Trafficking 1 kilogram can be equivalent to trafficking 50 kilograms of heroin. Shipments automatically become smaller, which makes them easier to hide in the mail. And it's more than just logistics. Once criminal organizations invest in synthetic opioid infrastructure and expertise, economic logic suggests they won't go back to the less efficient,
Maybe this will
risk,
help.
and lower margin heroin trade. On top of that, synthetic opioid production isn't affected by agricultural vulnerabilities. No weather patterns, no growing seasons, no political instability in source countries. Production
Yeah.
can happen year-round in clandestine laboratories, and you can set those up just about anywhere using precursor chemicals sourced from the global chemical industry. Even if the Taliban lifted their ban and Afghan opium production rebounded, the superior profitability of synthetics would likely win out. So, is Europe prepared?
Allah, Europe, are you prepared, huh? Get ready now, do a Donald Trump.
Currently, their focus is elsewhere.
Cocaine was basically conquering all over Europe. So everyone was very afraid about cocaine. If you want to put it like briefly, you would say European law enforcement authorities were looking west, right? So where the cocaine's coming from, but not looking east, where opioids are coming from and heroin.
Without bodies piling up because of synthetic opioids, there's little incentive for law enforcement to allocate significant resources to stop them.
And when you compare, for example, seizures, right? Seizures are always a good expression of not what's actually happening, but a good expression of law enforcement priorities. Last year in Germany, we have, I think, 24 tons of cocaine being seized, but 140 kilos of heroin. That is a very small number if you consider the size of the German heroin market, but it's simply because no one was looking for it. So when they would look for it, they would find it.
Even if it was a priority, it's unclear how much of the synthetic opioid supply law enforcement could realistically curb. Picture an hourglass. At each stage, the width of the hourglass represents how many people are involved. At the top, hundreds of thousands of farming households grow coca plants, mostly in Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia. Then the funnel narrows. Far fewer people refine coca leaves into cocaine. Fewer still are the smugglers and top-level importers who move it into consumer countries. This is the bottleneck. At the bottom, the hourglass widens back out. The number of wholesale dealers increases, and they branch out to countless street-level sellers. Each hand it passes through increases the drug's price, until finally it reaches the consumer. But synthetic opioids like nitazines are reaching users in much more direct ways.
It's important to understand that this is not the traditional organized crime you may have in mind running this market with synthetic opioids. This is not like Drangheta or Mexican cartels or Colombian cartels. This is mostly an online phenomenon. So this market only becomes physical the moment the drug reaches the user.
It's shockingly easy to order these substances online, so easy that it flattens the supply chain almost entirely. Producers in China mail small packages directly to street-level dealers and even end users.
When basically the whole supply is coming by mailing shipment somewhere from China within millions of parcels coming from China every day to Europe. And you're looking for, what, like 100 grams of fentanyl? Or even a kilo of nitazines? It's impossible.
This also means that doors open to an entirely new kind of end user, young people like Dylan Rocha.
There is a risk, and there's a growing risk, that on these basically completely uncontrolled online markets, these substances find their way into drug user communities and especially non-traditional drug user communities. So it's young people that are very absent from these.
I mean, I don't mind it. I was listening the whole time. I was listening the whole time.
Is no longer unique.
I was like listening to it.
Schoolgirl from Oslo University Hospital in Norway. There have been multiple cases of young people ordering a pill online to check it out, taking it in their room, and being found dead by their parents. Synthetic opioids like
Basically, the beginning was like Norway.
often by experimental
Hi, Excavaman. How are you doing? And yeah, it is.
hidden in other
It is your neighbor,
users
Germany,
medications like
and all that.
Oxycontin or Xanax, or they assume were produced by pharmaceutical
But is the kid who died from Norway?
advantage of this trust to create and sell counterfeit pills which don't contain these drugs at all. But why would they do that?
Why?
No, I don't think it is Norway.
Another product.
Germany,
I think
it says.
important that there's risk of
You guys are neighbors!
especially if they have a very low tolerance for opioids.
Aren't you in Europe?
Which is not so easy to answer, and it's a lot of guessing, but we assume that basically with a very little amount.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be like next door to be like neighbors.
Useless, cheap material into a highly potent drug.
In short, it's cheap. Press a bunch of junk with a teeny tiny amount of some nitazene analog.
Yeah.
Ta-da! You have pills that get people crazy high. If one of these pills contains just a few salt-sized grains too much, it's instant death. But hey, the margins, oh man. Drug busts and arrests often do little to curb supply or improve the health of user communities. That's where prevention, treatment, and education come into play. On the streets, heroin users are being effectively warned about contaminated drug supplies thanks to the work of harm reduction services.
Yeah.
And there is a batch of heroin that is contaminated. There's warnings, there's information. Basically, traditional heroin user community is a street level community, and it's accessible for street workers for information, for awareness raising, so that works quite well.
But these services
So do you want me to tell you the ocean? Are you a neighbor to Brett?
online from the privacy of their bedrooms.
Kind of, yeah.
Drug consumption rooms, needle clinics, and substitute programs are quite accessible, but still
We're like 5 hours away. That's close.
effective for a teenager who
That's
might
just a few minutes away.
online, accidentally encounters citizens, Another challenge is the blind spot of detection. Toxicology tests used across Europe were designed to detect traditional opioids like heroin, but nitazines are structurally distinct, meaning standard screenings simply don't register them. Conventional fentanyl test strips are equally useless. Postmortem examinations also routinely miss nitazines. This leads health officials to underestimate their presence until a series of suspicious deaths forces a closer look. Beyond detection, Europe needs modern alarm systems. Wedanos in Wales and The Loop in England test drugs that are sent in anonymously and provide alerts about contaminated batches. These services are accessible to the public, but even
that's
still,
good.
relatively few people use them. Some countries have started to deploy wastewater
Money.
analysis
They
and
need money.
monitoring system. They use it to detect nitazene metabolites in communities, hopefully before overdoses occur. But these services remain rare and isolated to a handful of nations. Another challenge is getting first response drugs like naloxone into the hands of the public. It's less effective against nitazenes than it is fentanyl, but it's still crucial to saving lives. Over-the-counter naloxone is available in only 5 countries: Denmark, France, Italy, Sweden, and most recently, Germany. In all others, it's only available with a doctor's prescription, so far fewer people have access. At the end of the day, there's a lot more to be done. Most emergency services haven't adopted nitazene-specific treatment protocols. Law enforcement still lacks the intelligence infrastructure to intercept small
I mean,
packages
how
of
would you
drugs.
even do
And,
it?
perhaps most critically,
How do you
awareness
guys...
programs have largely failed to reach non-opioid users.
Yeah.
Not enough young Europeans know about this trend. They simply don't know that a pill or powder they order somewhere online could be laced with a ridiculously deadly lab-made substance. There is a silver lining. Experts like Daniel and his colleagues are on a mission.
What we do as an organization, we make organized crime visible. We research it, we report about it in order to bring it to the attention of the broader public, to governments, to authorities, in order to bring it on the agenda, in order to trigger reactions, in making basically the life more complicated for organized crime, because in a setting where they're invisible, they're living their best life, and we want to change it.
One thing we can all do is help to raise awareness. If you know someone who might be at risk, make sure they know about the dangers of nitazenes. Tell them to get their drugs tested if they can. If they go to certain parties, tell them to carry naloxone whenever possible.
Yeah, and make sure you know where you're getting it from. Like, I mean, in a way, that's the reason why, like, legalization and all that stuff makes sense. I'm not saying, like, with everything, like, it's not a one-all approach. Send me your, Whisper. Whisper, made the link. Do you have, can you send it again, if you don't mind? So I can, okay, cool, I found it. This is me. I'm shy. Oh. Oh, that's when you found out where I live. Freaking. Yeah, she's in Sunshine Coast. She's in Sunshine Coast now. Oh, I haven't played that card game for a while. I look so poop. I haven't played that for a while. Hmm. I mean, that's what I do. I just nudge them. I have been playing Schedule 1, like offline, just to pass the time. I should have some ramen. I haven't had ramen for a while. Oh! Oh my god, I haven't played this game as well! Oh, that's fucking scary as hell! Oh, this is the fucking big guy's favorite game. Ah, this is the cat one. Sure, yeah. Couldn't figure that game out. I saw Star for a second. This is getting a little close because like I'm back to Nila in here. Does she like the fish game? The one with the fishy 222. Oh, okay. This is when these were days where I've been just like home from work. I'm just like, ugh, couldn't be bothered. Oh no, not this one. Not anymore, at least. Oh, I haven't finished that yet. Oh my God. That's the longest stream I've ever done. Me sleeping. Ah. Oh my God. Oh, I finished that one. I don't finish a lot of games, I'm realizing. Oh, this is when my parents came over. Sorry, I'm like hiding myself because I'm shy. Oh my God. Oh my God, I just saw myself laying down. Give me a sec. I just got shy at myself playing that Pokemon became my laying down. What the fuck? Oh, that's the pageant. Ooh. Seems like it's capturing all of the movies we've seen as well. You know, that was good for the first. That show was good for the first few like seconds, but like the last episodes were like, what the fuck? Like it just fucking gooned everyone with its flashbacks and what the freaking. So annoying. Oh. Oh my god, my hair got short. Ah! No, I don't. When was it? I didn't notice. I did know, like, okay. Wait, when was it? Okay, I was still... April. April. Ah. Ooh. Ah, this is getting to like the latest one. Thank you, big guy. That was cool. I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. Um, I don't want to show what I'm gonna type in, but I'm gonna write something on it later. But thank you, big guy. I appreciate you. Um, you never actually really noticed, like, right? Like when you like, oh, do you have any other videos? Sorry, you never actually really noticed what you've been doing this whole time until you kind of like, yeah. Post it on the maybe on the maybe put it on general and I could pin it because I think I remember pinning the other one as well. Do you have any other videos? And like now that I'm seeing all those games, I'm like, oh my god, like I kind of want to like play them again, like I want to like go through them again. I kind of like doing that. The fuck is happening? What the heck is happening in this world? That's crazy. Not as crazy as the others, but this is like it's like 6 out of 10. They're still scary. houses nearby too. Wait, why is it so long? Oh, is it just that? Yeah, it's okay. I'm glad that there weren't any subsequent. Like it's just one incident basically. It's not like, oh wait, is that like after a while, or oh no, they just used the same footage. Kind of showed up like, at least it was just, it wasn't like the other ones where they kind of exploded multiple times. Kind of did things around it too. Ayu ya 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 ya.
You ready? Nice. You deadly.
Hello? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you say what's up? What's up? What's up?
Here, bro. Take a bite. Take a bite, dude. Take a bite. Yeah, there you go.
Hello. How's it feel to be TikTok famous, dude?
Do that again.
Caesar, how are you?
What'd you bring me?
How are you doing? Are you grinding again?
Beautiful piece of wood.
Oh no, I dropped my cans. Can you help me recycle them? Look at that. Oh my goodness.
He's got like 10
Job.
in his mouth. Have another.
Yui, that's not good. Why would you do that? That's gonna make them wanna eat more of those, and then they're gonna get fat. Next thing you know, they're gonna be so addicted to the macros, they'll start getting a fucking job, and then joining the fucking humans who are trying to compete for the same roles. And guess what? They fucking fly. So we're gonna have it. We're gonna be having it worse. And I am just like, you just wanna be an ordinary person. That's what you wanna be. And you cannot like even do it anymore because like, and now we have to resort to like Twitch. I'm kidding. Bye. Oh my god, that sounds so satisfying.
Wow, look underneath it.
I know, it's cool, isn't it?
Wait, is that lady still taking pictures of us?
Oh my god, that is so good.
Three, two, one.
And yeah, I'm back teaser. I'm doing okay. It's really cold at the moment. That's the one. That's a good one. It's kind of like that building is kind of smart, like being able to like I don't know if oh wait, but at the same time, like But no, actually, yeah, it is pretty. It looks like they kind of like knew what was happening, you know, like it was part of the design, if that makes sense. As long as you aren't standing at the end, I wouldn't mind that. I would experience like what they call that when you get buried in the snow, like an avalanche, so that I'm able to like try and see if I could survive it, which I probably won't. I don't know. Did you send any more videos or? Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yep, I've seen that one. That's it for now? Chinese? Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I know that one. What's the big five though? I want to check this one.
Dominating the internet as the most famous quintuplet of creators in the world, all set to the goofy sounds of The Bottom Two by Glorb. It's incredible rage bait as these unknown names are acting as if they are the ones who run the digital world, mirroring the types of videos you might find from hype houses or groups of creators who wish to advertise themselves as extremely important. The original clip was posted by Persusi on the 22nd of April and includes other creators Ask About Nathan, Rai Spam 000, Nadio, and Jacqueline Aragon. The
I
thing
like
is,
her hair.
it seems like no one really knows who these people are, despite them all having followers that number in the hundreds of thousands to millions. And ultimately, the Big Five videos shine a light on how being popular on the internet doesn't translate to being popular in real life.
How is the Big Five so unknown, but yet they all have millions of followers upon their accounts? I kid you not, almost all of them have multi-million follower accounts, but not a soul knows who any of these people are.
Sure, you might have millions of followers online, but if you go into a crowded room and say, hey, I have a massive following, my name is X, chances are that no one will know who you are. This fact became painfully clear when FaZe Banks decided to go into his local GameStop in the hopes of coasting on his fame, as he does have quite a large following, but quickly found out that no one knew who he was or why they should give a shit about him until he painfully left.
And
As a result, the edits referencing the Big Five seem to possess a self-aware energy that mocks the idea of self-importance, with most of them making fun of those who would believe they are known as the Big Five, creators of the internet. It's also unclear if any of these creators of the original clip genuinely believe themselves to be the most popular of TikTok, as it's common for collaborations like this to spread across social media, which is why the
like, okay, I don't need to listen to this shit anymore. Ooh, what the hell? Like, what even the fuck is that shit? Like, ugh. Like that's why I don't like TikTok sometimes. Like, ugh. But I don't mind some of the videos from TikTok. Let me see my algorithm. If my algorithm is a little, no worries. Go heat up your dinner. I want to see what my TikTok looks like on the algorithm.
Hi, may I get some tea, please? Sure thing.
You know. I heard you was a nasty whore, that's why I'm singing on the floor. But you don't really care for bathing, do ya? Well, it goes like this, you dirty bitch. I can smell your pussy on your fingertips. I'm barefoot, bitch. You gotta stay cool, Joe. Hi, mama. Stanky cool, Joe. I heard you.
That was good. No,
This is McDonald's.
this is an ad.
I mean, it looks fine.
Jesus Christ!
Let's try blue.
From sketch to stunning.
Nothing happened. You didn't see anything.
Mama, she's here. Give this woman an Oscar. Blink through. Wait, if I blink through her, can I? Wait, I can't see her. Wait, is she on the other one? No, she's definitely on this one.
I don't think they can. I don't know why she's like, yeah, why won't she open it?
It's a split second, but you can see it. Oh my god, Mama.
Bye.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, bye. Take care. Are you going to exit it?
我们今生注定是沧桑，苦之来要笑着走过呀。我们。
yeah, I'll get him.
Did you see Ariana Grande performing at the Grammys?
Oh, I fucking hate her.
Hate her.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What?
Nothing. I thought you said something.
I just said yeah.
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 What is that? Shannon, call the police.
Thank you, Rara. Oh my god, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, it's a flop tropical. How are you doing? You're doing good. I'm so sorry. It became a whole thing. Usually you expect them to like, also, how do I install this shit? Possible password error code. How do I install this shit? Let me just look this up. Oh. I need to restart my computer. I don't know if I should play this even. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to start my computer really quick. But that will disappear. I will disappear on the stream. Just so you guys know. I'll be back.